Buy now, pay later isn't helping you afford things. It's helping you afford things you can't actually afford. And there is a massive difference between those two sentences. One sounds like a helpful financial tool. The other sounds like exactly what it is: a trap, dressed up beautifully, marketed cleverly, and designed specifically to make you spend money you don't have, without it ever feeling that way. You know the feeling. You're online, probably late at night. You've found something. You want trainers, a new outfit, a gadget, some home stuff, and it's just slightly more than you were planning to spend, just slightly out of reach. And then you see it, right there at the checkout. Pay in 3, or pay in 4, or just pay nothing today. Suddenly, the price in your head changes. It's not £120 anymore. It's £40, 3 times easy, barely noticeable. You'd spend that on a night out without thinking twice, so you click it. Obviously, you click it. It would almost feel stupid not to. And that moment, that exact moment, is where the trap closes. Not with a bang, not with a warning, just a quiet little click and a confirmation email telling you your order is on its way. Sound familiar? For most people, the answer is yes. So let's quickly cover what buy now, pay later actually is. For anyone who hasn't used ITL, though at this point, that's probably about 3 people. It's a short-term credit agreement. You buy something today and pay for it later, either in one lump sum after 30 days or split into installments over a few months. The big names are Klarna, ClearPay, Laybuy, and PayPal Pay in 3. You've probably seen all of them at checkout. Most of them don't charge interest if you pay on time, which sounds great. And that's precisely why 17 million people in the UK used them last year alone. But here's the thing about financial products that seem too good to be true. They're usually not good. They're usually designed very carefully to benefit someone, and that someone isn't you. To understand why buy now, pay later is so effective, you need to understand something about how your brain handles money. Spending money hurts. Literally, psychologists call it the pain of paying. When you hand over cash or watch your bank balance drop, there's a real moment of discomfort. Your brain registers the loss. And that discomfort is actually useful. It's your internal alarm system saying, "Are you sure about this?" Buy now, pay later completely disables that alarm. When you split a payment into 3 installments, the brain doesn't register £120 leaving your account. It registers £40. 3 times. In the future pain feels far less real than present pain. And your brain basically files it under "not my problem right now." And these companies know this. They have entire teams of behavioral psychologists whose entire job is to make spending feel as painless as possible. The clean design, the friendly language. Pay in 3 inches sounds almost cheerful. It doesn't say, "take on debt 3 times." It says, "pay in 3," like it's doing you a favor. The less it feels like spending, the more you spend. That's not an accident. That's the product working exactly as intended. Here's where we get into it. Because on the surface, buy now, pay later looks harmless. Small payments, no interest. What's the problem? The problem is several things happening at once. First, it makes you spend more than you would have. Research consistently shows that people spend significantly more when buy now, pay later is available at checkout. Not because they suddenly have more money, but because the psychological barrier to spending is lower. That £120 you wouldn't have spent becomes easy at £40 a month. Multiply that across a few purchases, and you've quietly spent £400 more than you planned this month. Second, the payments stack up invisibly. This is the one that catches people out the most. One buy now, pay later agreement feels manageable, but most people using it aren't using it once. They're using it across multiple purchases at the same time. Suddenly, you've got £40 coming out for the trainers, $25 for the jacket, $64 the thing you bought last month that you've actually forgotten about. None of it feels like much on its own. Together, it's eating a significant chunk of your monthly income, and you didn't consciously decide on any of it. Third, late fees are very real. Miss a payment, and the friendly, cheerful product becomes considerably less friendly. Late fees, charges, and in some cases, your account being passed to a debt collector. The no-interest promise only holds if everything goes perfectly, and life doesn't always go perfectly. And fourth, it creates a cycle. This is the big one. If you're regularly using buy now, pay later, it means you're regularly buying things before you can afford them, which means your future income is already spoken for before it arrives. Which means when it arrives, you're already behind. Which means you reach for buy now, pay later again. Round and round. Paycheck to paycheck. Wondering why there's never anything left. Let me walk you through how this actually plays out in real life. Let's meet someone. We'll call her Sophie. Sophie earns £1,800 a month after tax. She's sensible with money. Mostly she uses Klarna, occasionally, nothing crazy. Just when something is a bit more than she wants to spend in one go. In January, she buys a coat, £90, splits it into three, £30 a month, fine. In February, she needs new trainers, £110, pay in three, about £37 a month. Still fine. Also, in February, her friend's birthday comes up, and she orders some things online. Another £75 split over 3 months. She barely notices it. By March, Sophie has £104 a month, leaving her account in buy now, pay later payments she's half forgotten about. That's on top of her rent, bills, food, travel, and everything else. Her £1,800 salary is disappearing faster than it should, and she can't quite figure out why. So in March, when she needs new work clothes, she uses Klarna again, because it's the only way it feels manageable. Sophie isn't reckless. Sophie isn't bad with money. Sophie is just caught in a cycle that was specifically designed to catch her. And she's not alone. Millions of people are in exactly the same position right now. Here's what buy now, pay later actually does to your financial life in the long run. It keeps you permanently slightly behind. Every time you use it, you're borrowing from your future self. Your next paycheck arrives already partly spent. So you feel the squeeze. So you use it again. Your financial life becomes a constant game of catch-up, and the finish line keeps moving. This is exactly the paycheck cycle. This channel exists to help you break. You cannot build wealth. You cannot build wealth. You cannot invest, save, or get ahead. If your future income is already committed before it arrives, buy now, pay later doesn't give you breathing room. It borrows your breathing room and charges you for it later. So what's the alternative? Because the answer isn't just, don't buy things. That's not realistic, and frankly, it's not helpful. First, use a simple waiting rule. Before any non-essential purchase over a certain amount, £50, £100, whatever feels right for you, give it 48 hours. Most impulse purchases don't survive 48 hours of thinking. The ones that do are probably worth having. Second, save first. Buy second. Old-fashioned, completely unglamorous, extremely effective. If you want something that costs £120, put £40 a month aside for 3 months and then buy it. Identical payment structure to buy now, pay later. Except at the end, you own it outright. Your future income isn't committed to anything, and you paid zero in potential fees. Third, get clear on your monthly outgoings. Sit down just once and look at what's actually leaving your account. Write it down. Most people who do this are genuinely surprised by the number. Awareness alone changes behavior. And fourth, if you do use buy now, pay later, treat it like debt, because it is debt. Use it once at a time, never overlap agreements, and pay it off the moment you can. Never let it become a habit. Buy now, pay later is not your friend. It's a product built by very smart people, whose entire goal is to get you comfortable spending money you don't have yet. And it works brilliantly, because it doesn't feel dangerous. It feels convenient. It feels modern. It feels like a solution. But convenience that keeps you broke isn't a solution. It's just a very well-designed problem. You work too hard for your money to hand it over in 3 easy installments before you've even received it. Break the cycle. Buy it when you can afford it. Or don't buy it at all. Your future self, the one who is juggling for overlapping payments on things they have forgotten about, will thank you for it. This is Break the Paycheck. And that's exactly what we're here to do. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more ways to take control of your finances.